Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for Kaguya-sama Love is War, episode 7 of season 3, Ultra Romantic. Last time on Kaguya-sama, parent-teacher conferences got a little bit wild as Miyuki's dad and Hayasaka's mom decided to pretend to be Kaguya-sama's surrogate parents and do the parent-teacher conference thing, career counseling thing there. It was, yeah, it was interesting and quite a blast. But the most interesting thing that occurred in the last episode was the reveal that Shirogane wants to go to Stanford, which puts a bit of a time limit on our little romance thing that's like the core of our whole plot. So that's kind of very exciting to me because it indicates to me that maybe we'll actually try to, not just will they, won't they this to the end of time, but actually will they, and maybe they will, and that would be great, and I'd be very happy about it. The rest of the episode, in large part, was taken up by Miyuki Shirogane wanting to be confessed to, callback to the previous title from season 1, even, and we got so close, yet so far, with thinking about going and scouting out the festival or the school bunkasai cultural festival situation going on at, I think, North High, at a different high school. But of course, thanks to the very useful and extremely helpful interactions by the rest of our squad, our perfect plan to get Kaguya and Shirogane to go to a thing together, like a date, kind of, totally fell apart because they decided that it would be much safer if some boys went alone. So, shit, fuck, damn, so close yet so far is sort of the name of the game with Kaguya. I'm looking forward to there being more fun push-pull, will they, won't they stuff, as well as just interesting interactions between these characters. My money goes, oh man, it was Shirogane last time, and I said Kaguya, I think. I think my money goes on Kaguya again. It's high time for a Shinomiya victory, and so I'm gonna put money on Kaguya, and I did grab a sticker. This is, I think it's Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's fiending for a spot right over there, which it will, I'm sure, take up because I'm sure that Kaguya is not going to win. I've been 0 for as many as I've tried with these. There are a lot of characters, I guess, and maybe I'm just bad at predicting which one might win the thing. Also, it never seems to make much sense who wins the thing and who loses the thing and the way that those go, but they end up being a very funny way to tack on a little gag at the end of the thing and a little bow on everything, and that ends up being really fun. Last thing that I want to talk about today is sort of an aside. It's sort of silly, but it sort of fits with Kaguya because Kaguya is such an interesting, but gag manga, right? I drew a comic. It's the first time that I've ever drawn any kind of narrative of any variety. It's maybe only the second or third time that I've intentionally added text to imagery and messed in that space, but that's what I did. It's just me getting hit by a brick and then going ow and then cursing the sky. Rah. But that's fine. That's all it needs to be. The reason that I did this was because I was inspired. I'll bring this up tomorrow in JoJo's as well because that's where it started off. I'll get more into it come JoJo's because I always end up talking about the manga of JoJo's because we end up reading through the manga paneling. But somebody recommended that I pick up a copy of this book, Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. If I was going to try to do more analysis and talking about comics and manga and stuff. And so I did, and I finally cracked it this morning and read the first chapter, which was like 24 pages of it, and it's amazing. It's first off, it's lovely. Just to sell you this book, it's lovely, and it's all comics to read the book. So if you ever have trouble reading textbooks, this makes things much easier because while it is textually dense and full of interesting information, it is in the format of a comic book, and that makes things a little bit easier to skim through, I think. But it's also doing sort of a deep dive, and at this point just doing a framing and a questioning of what are comics. What are they? They're sequentially juxtaposed in space images that represent stuff, and somehow that reads to us as like time passing and stuff. So I was inspired by having read the first chapter of that, and I was like, all right, well, I I can do a scribble and put some words by it and then put it in a box and put more scribbles next to it, and I did. And then when I look at the thing and I see the scribbles in boxes, it does the thing to my brain. It does the thing to my brain. It's a person, and then he gets hit by a brick, and then he rubs his head, and he goes, ow! And then he curses the sky, and it all happens in sequence. And that sounds dumb as shit, because you and me, we're old hat at this, right? We've been reading manga and comics since we were 5. We know what comics look like. We know how they work. But still, there's something really, really exciting about putting it onto paper yourself and going, wow, because it goes from not being alive to being alive. It goes from being static and just a piece of image to moving, to shifting through time, to existing through like changes in just the way where your eyes are on the page. That's crazy. That's crazy and very exciting to me. And I know that, again, I should be humdrum and not excited about this because it's so old hat and so obvious, but man, it's got my heart. It's got my heart. It did something to me, and I'm excited to do more of that because it shows me, and that's part of the wonderful thing about McLeod's book so far, at least at first, is that the characters are super simplistic, like utterly simple, and yet it still evokes and expresses everything that it needs to as much as it needs to, and is useful, and had me, I actually like laughed out loud a couple of times at a couple of moments in this thing, and the framing of everything is amazing, and it did the thing to me. It did the thing. I am excited. So there's my excitement thing. I take my excitement, I put it on the camera, and I give it to you. Happy day. Good morning. I hope all is well in your world, and that you're going to join me for a laughsome, wholesome, maybe insane some episode of Kaguya-sama Love is War. Nice transition. All right, we've segued out away from the exciting comic stuff to the also exciting comic stuff. I gotta, oh, I need a second to chew on that one. I'm gonna pour my tea. Ooh, baby. Oh, man. You know it's bad if I'm punning before I'm caffeinated. You know it's bad. Okay. Let's give it a watch. Kaguya-sama Love is War, episode 7 of season 3, Ultra Romantic. I'm excited. I'm not expecting anything bombastic or insane, like a Chica dance or something crazy like that. So if I get one of those, I'm going to be socks knocked off. I am hoping for cool stuff. You know, the cultural festival's still going to happen. I could still see more angles around that. And even if we don't go and we observe the North High one, that's still a plot point that's coming up, is like all that festivity stuff is going to have to be prepped, and our characters are all in the student council, so they're going to have to deal with that. If not this episode, then in the next couple of episodes, I expect stuff to come to bear on that front. That could even be the whole rest of the season, honestly, in a lot of ways, is like preparing for and engaging in and dealing with all the things related to the festival, or preparing for all these events and stuff. Totally viable, totally doable. I could see it. I'm looking at the first frame of Kaguya-sama episode 7. There's like fire and explosion happening. I don't know what I'm looking at. Let's find out. I've got the episode up and ready to go. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. Picture-in-picture version with the video up here blocking the comics will be down there, linked in the description. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. Support the channel on the Patreon. Super appreciated. Likes and subscribes on the video are also very good. Comments are kind of the best. I like good comments. They're real good. So, anything that's excited you about art recently? Anything that's done, yeah, you saw me just a few minutes ago do this, like, wow, this thing's really exciting, sort of thing. Anything get you like that? Reawaken your love for movies, or, I don't know, music, or media, or anything like that? I don't know. Let me know. I think it's important. It's important to address and talk about and be cognizant of these things that move us. Music and movies and dance and art and cinema and YouTube videos and all these things. Sometimes they can really have an impact and like shockingly wake you up out of a slump or out of just sort of autopilot, and make you realize again that there's a world out there and that you're a part of it and you're alive. And so, wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So let me know in the comments if you've had any interesting experiences with media recently. I'd like to share in them. That would be very cool. and let's watch some Kaguya-sama. Love is War, episode 7, beep beep timer. It's just like, oh, this is a child thing. What the fuck cult is this? Oh, is this the thing? Is this one of those, like, pair off and do a thing with a fire sort of cultural festival situation thingies? I have a vague recollection of that from somewhere. Somebody mentioned that they think that that portion of the opening is a reference to Jamiroquai's music video for Virtual Insanity. I had never seen that music video until like 2 days ago, and I watched it, and now I understand. I just had never seen it. Heard the song 1,000 times, but never watched the video. I've been really spoiled with good OPs recently. JoJo's, Kaguya, the Red Light Entertainment District arc OP for Kimetsu. Woof. Great OPs, one after another. Festival Executive hey, there you go, yeah. Oh. Oh boy. Oh, we're gonna bring her into it? We're gonna bring her into it, uh-oh. Oh, she's got a squad of followers, too. She's got orbiters. Uh-oh. Ino Miko cannot love. Ikimasu! Whee! Oh god, I hate it. Yeah. He's gonna get into it. Yeah. Terrible. Terrible. Well, she's got a shh to her. Oh no, Dara-chan? Almost formal. Yappa. Da way. Yup. Yup. Oh. Oh, thank goodness. He's gonna write some stupid shit. Really small. I've never been this degenerate before. She is just always thumbs up, huh? Oh no. But in the hot seat. Good jeez, this is the start of a oh. Is it all genuine? There's no evil underneath this? Huh? Oh, this is the guy with the teeth. Yeah. Immediately, his voice is just typecast. Sasuga? He just immediately starts growling at him. He's still going. Hey. Hey. Oh. Oh. Man, they're gonna eat him. Arimasu. Huh, huh, huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Destroyed by his own fucking weapon. This is amazing. This is amazing. Beam. You, dude, you. Nani? Ah. Your own words. Who's gonna save? Who's gonna save the rec center? I've already got the answer. Do it. Oh, ho, ho, Ino. What if he's got it though? You're gonna come up with some stupid shit. The documentary. Ah. Ah. It actually worked. Interesting. You are supposed to hate her. She is very hardworking, though. She cares so much about this. Is she even got the gallery to come with her? Ooh, the power of... Ah. Yeah, but you're doing it. Yeah, why are you coming with me? Yeah! Huh? Huh? Hmm. That's super cute. I thought we were gonna shit on it with a stupid joke. We didn't. I'm so down. Let our burning passion be heard. Hey, we'd like to have a bonfire. I don't get it. It must have been her handwriting, right? Like she contributed it from the beginning. Wow, all these backgrounds have been great. Okay. We're introducing some characters. Ah. We don't often get to see her. Oh, I love them. Oh, I love them. I can tell. I'm into it. I love it. Off in the shadows. Fuck. Literally everything that you try except dating. Why haven't you found a boyfriend? What? But she has a condition. Right. The other one's gonna fall apart now. Oh! Hmm. No. Not at all. Ah. This is Review Starlight now. That's what this is. That's what this is. This is Review Starlight now. Yes. The bamboo cutter. Hmm. Potentially. Potentially. So she's kept it. It's very funny. Just happened to. I never miss. With my eyes closed? Fuck off. Don't worry, they have conditions. Whoa, wait, what? She's a rhythmic gymnast and also hot. Hard to. Hey, shut up, be loyal. Loyalty is important. Are all the girls, all the guys in the squad ogling at this right now? They should be. Classic. Great. This is spectacular. That was spectacular. Astronomy club. Oh. Oh. I love her. I love her. I didn't know that we could do that. Oh, we can mix a kudere with a Yankee? That's impossible. Impossible. Very specific. Okay, that's pretty baller. Hmm. Hmm. Oh? Kara? Oh? And exactly what do you mean by that? Ah. A chain of betrayals. This is all some bullshit that they made up. Fuckers. You fuckers. They almost got me with that, too. That was great. Sorry, what? That's the most terrifying thing that I've ever seen. Good, good, good. I've seen that Community episode. It's great. Aww. Aww. What just happened? We're in a weird place now. What the fuck? Oh, balloon animals. Oh my god. Shirogane Miyuki wants to inflate. Oh, he can't do it. Just that look from that look from Chica. Oh no 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 no! Please don't make me. Please. You know nothing, Kashiwagi-san. I've done this before. I've done this before. Listen, I did this rap thing. I just know. What? The whole like fuzzy color scheme. I can't make balloons. All right, well, we're gonna go help him. No, it has to be this. No, you're making it worse. Soka, I suppose that I'm just a No, you rejected him, you fool. What is this? That was brutal. You're just gonna balls to the wallet every time? Yep, alright. It's like Golgo 13 style or some weird shit. Hello. Eh. That's why you should date. Not joking. So the needle and the balloons together. No, God, you're gonna do it in front of... in front of her? I really do. Yeah, I know. Yeah, or unfixed intervals. It's worse when it's randomized. Yeah, but is it worth it? But is it worth it? Oh, did he get 3 of them? Yeah, he did. Oh, just as soon as he tries to fold them. Yep. They can never. That's so brutal. Yeah, but other people also struggle with the things that you're great at. My guy. Practice with learning things, huh? Well, that's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. Pop. Oh. Oh, they're so old? Fuck. Just literally impossible. Posho Desne. Oh my god. Yeah, but are they still gonna pop? Are they still gonna pop? Just barely. Can I do it? Can he really do it? Yeah, said that she was willing to help, you fool. Cuts off mid. This was the funniest episode in a while. This one was pretty excellent. This was pretty excellent. And it managed to be like really really sweet too. Boom. All right. Well, I lost, so sticker goes there. At least I didn't lose. Fujiwara did. She sure did. Whoops. Oh man. Don't offer what you don't want to do. Okay, we're gonna go through this one, I think, somewhat backward because I want to start by mentioning the total style change that occurs throughout this last bit. This last bit is completely stylistically different from all of the rest of it. Like there's a fuzzy filter on everything. Everything is almost watercolory and feels, in a way that's almost like as if we're doing a time effect or this is happening in the past or something like that. It's just interesting to me that they chose to do it that way. I'm not sure why, but it's not the only thing that's stylistically interesting. Like the direction is very very dramatized in a unique way. I feel like we might be referencing a particular piece of media here, and I don't know which piece of media that might be, but it feels like a particular reference as opposed to like a general style for fun sort of thing. I don't know why. I don't know why it is the way that it is, but it definitely adds something to the weightiness of this whole balloon popping extravaganza. Because on the surface of it, it's kind of silly, and yet it manages to be one of the sweetest, most heartfelt bits that we've had in the show for a while. Like, for a little while, as far as I can recall. Part of that is that Kaguya's speech a little bit later is really excellent and ties it together, and I think is really, really excellent, especially with all the background that we have for all these characters. But something about the art style of the build up to that, because in Kaguya's world, it's all crisp and clear, right? Out here, it's all fuzzy and watercolory, but once we get into the student council room, everything is crisp and clear. The line art is normalized, and the lighting style is normalized, and everything is pretty much normal. It's back to, except, okay. So maybe what we're doing is a headspace thing. Maybe that's what we're intending here. I would buy that, and I'd be into it. Maybe it's a headspace thing, because around Kaguya we're clear, but then once he starts popping the balloons again, and he starts talking about, oh, forgive me, I'm so pathetic, right? I'm so sorry. Then we're back in the same color space, the same sort of fuzziness. So maybe it's indicative of his headspace. It's like the action that he's trying to take, the folding of the balloons, is somewhere fuzzy where he's not solid. It's all a little bit ethereal, a little bit ephemeral, a little bit weird and wrong. But then, at the depth of his despair, what's the point of it all? All of this work that I do all of the time in order to cover up my own patheticness, my own failures. What is the point of all of this if it doesn't even work? She drops the piece of cloth that she's working on, and there's something really powerful about that fluttering to the floor, to the table. It's really lovely. Isn't that weird? That has an emotional beat to it. It means something. We jump in, and she's in. I mean, this is the same eye shape and pattern as Nagatoro of Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro. Kaguya is looking at Miyuki like a predator looks at prey, right? Like Nagatoro looks at the boy that she fucks with, right? That's actually what this reminds me of, and it's exactly it. She sees something that she can comprehend about the president, something that she can wrap her mind around and understand in a way that pleases her greatly, but is in some ways like, now I've got a leg up, I've got an advantage against you. Because she does. She's figured something out about him. A little bit about his imposter syndrome, you might say. And even with that, she then ties it in a really wholesome way as she moves forward. She starts to say, this struggling that you're experiencing right now, this I understand now, finally I understand, is the reason behind your ingenuity, behind your ability to accomplish all these different things, is the struggle that you go through. And and I'd say, my words, not hers, I'd say the inferiority complex or imposter syndrome complex that's going on, like the need to overcome this thing. Like Shirogane is willing to sit there for days trying to tie balloons over and over, and to seek out help from people like Fujiwara in order to figure it out. And it's that has resulted in the aspects of him that Kaguya finds virtuous, that she really likes. And so he takes it as, effort is never wasted. That's what you're trying to say. And she turns and says, no shit. Like, of course. That's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. Something about this, like, heart-to-heart recognition of weakness. And then Kaguya is not only intelligent, but perceptive enough to realize that the weakness that Shirogane is experiencing is actually his strength. And we fuck around with the phrases like weakness is strength. That's a kill. That's a kill-a-killism, a Satsuki-ism, I think. But we fuck around with phrases like that, with ideas like you can get strength out of recognizing your own weakness. It's like, oh well, that seems like bullshit. But when it gets expressed like this, it makes a lot more sense. At least this particular vein of it, this particular type of it, makes a lot more sense. Inability is not weakness. It's what you do afterward that determines whether you're strong or weak. And it's a skill. Specifically, the skill of acquiring new skills is itself a skill. That's how I see it. So Shirogane has become an incredible person, a really spectacular individual, because he's come up against true, genuine walls continuously, and he actually fights to overcome them. Out of an internal inferiority complex that's probably not mentally healthy for him, fair, but nobody at Shuchin is, like, mentally healthy. The school is not a place for making healthy students. It's a place for making successful students. And to be successful, you've got to have some kind of drive to overcome the difficult. And he's got it. He's got it in spades. And so she stands there and she looks him right in the eye and she says, "That's cool. Essentially, I like that about you. And I've figured out now, I understand. That's why you are the way that you are." Potent. I think there's another lesson to take from it that it is also important, which is right here. I struggle with things that others have no trouble with. Literally everyone. The most competent people in the world aren't competent at everything. The most spectacular author is probably not great at cleaning drains. Like, seriously. And vice versa. Everybody's got strengths and weaknesses. Everybody is a structure of puzzle pieces. I struggle with things that others have no trouble with. But you look at Shirogane and you're like, well, he's an exceptional student and the president of this school, and he's doing great. He's doing all these impressive things. But in his own mind, he's focused on the dark blots on his record, the things that he can't do. Now, that focus is what leads him to fix them and turn them into things that he can at least sort of do. But I get this distinct impression... Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm not going to sneeze. I get this distinct impression that Miyuki thinks this is a unique phenomenon to him, right? He's blessed and spectacular and all of these things with great powers of intellect and diligence. So, man, it's just unfair that I have to struggle with things that other people have no problem with. Some people are really good at stuff and I have to struggle with them. Yeah, but almost everyone is struggling with all the shit that you do as president. Everybody comes with strengths and weaknesses. And the fact that you're weak at one thing doesn't mean that you're weak. What you do afterward matters. I like it. I like this whole chunk. I like the style change that's throughout it. I like the joke of Fujiwara really, really, really wanting to avoid having to teach Miyuki a new thing. And I really, really, really vibe with the conversation with Kaguya here. Because this feels like romance to me. Discovering an aspect that you didn't completely understand about a human being and liking it. Being intrigued and even enamored by it. When they themselves don't like it about themselves or don't even recognize it, that's romance. That's magic. That's beautiful. I think they nailed it. I think they nailed it down in this episode. The Chica bit at the end is also very good and very funny, and of course, pop, pop, pop. Nope. Nope. Oh, very good. We have a bunch of spectacularly interesting stuff to go through for the rest of the episode, because the rest of the episode is focused on the festival and is really cool. The setup at the beginning for the emotional weight of the bonfire circumstance for Miko Ino, and her desire to make it happen and be a part of it one day is lovely. I think it does a great, great job of exactly that setup. All right, we hop in, and y'all too. Koyasu is the committee lead, and we immediately get her voice actress. We've heard her before, but I didn't really pay as much attention to it. I really like her voice actress. She's got a to her, which I usually associate with voices that are trying to be very high class or very demure. You'll get it in like Ojo-sama type voices pretty frequently. She's got it, and it fits her character in a weird way without her being condescending, which is a little bit surprising. She ends up coming across as very sweet and very genuine. And that's why at some point during the episode, I was like, is there no evil behind this? Like, this is just really who she is? And that's crazy to me, because this kind of straightforwardly highly positive character usually belies some dark, twisted shit on the inside, and it seems to not do that at all. I seem to be completely wrong. I do want to hear her first line again. Woo! She might be the most sexualized character in Kaguya-sama so far. What with, I mean, we do a chest zoom, but I think that's because of the kanji that's on her chest. I don't really know. It might be meant for Savisu, but I don't feel like this is Savisu. That doesn't feel like Savisu to me. The whole rhythmic gymnastics sequence is definitely Savisu, and I'm here for it. I'm into it. She's very good. Very good. It's a problem. The joke that Ishigami actually finds himself getting into it and Miko Ino cannot is brilliant. It's too much for me. Hey, Ishigami, tell them to, and he's full into it. Lovely. Just lovely. The line Ishigami was used to it, I don't know if that's correct. And some people have mentioned that the translations are weird. I understand, and I do hear them sometimes being weird, but so far the localization has been pretty good, as far as I can tell. Let me know if it misses anything really big, and I'll think about it, but so far it's been fine. She is so very nice, and that, of course, leads precisely and directly and immediately to orbiters. Lots of orbiters. Okay, young and carefree, dank and dope is the way. Ah, very passionate. Super based. Right, amazing. And Ino's the only one who sees it. But everyone is here to show off in front of the pretty girl and try to get some brownie points from the cutie patootie. Never works. Never works. Don't ever get stuck in this trap. This whole like showing off thing is dumb as shit, and it ends up with you arguing with a bunch of people who aren't gonna get any anyway. So silly. I do want to read this. I just woke up, lol, for real? This is gonna be amazing kek. Ayo, Shuchin, Gakuen Cho Festival for the win. Yes, I know, right? That's what's it about, am I right? I mean, I've never been this degenerate before. Actually, that's it for now. I'll just sleep forever. Night. What? I based it off the slogan of Kyoto University. Okay, what? World peace through languages. That's the University of Foreign Studies. Freedom of academic culture is the motto. Okay? I don't get it. But okay. They actually do. I don't know that they do. Why should your principles be imposed on the rest of the group? Miko. That's her continuous problem as an authoritarian, as a disciplinarian. She wants her principles imposed on the rest of the group. They don't want that. They force her to try to justify it by coming up with a slogan on her own. She cannot do it. She gets totally fucking stuck. And indeed, it's Koyasu who saves her, whether she recognizes that she's doing so or not. Interesting. I don't have anything particular to say about the sequence, but it feels right on. It feels exactly right. The tension and the reluctance of a group to follow somebody who puts forth an idea, coupled with the turn and putting them in the hot seat, and then suddenly the impossibility of doing so, the realization of how difficult what you've asked for is, really cool. She does come up and get quite touchy with Miko Ino, which is very cute and very weird. I don't know how to feel about it. Questions! And of course, oh yeah, okay. Sasuga Kobayashi, you really do know everything. And the other guy's already grimacing. They're already in the fight. So this is perfect. Ooh, oh, she said a nice thing about me. Oh my goodness, she likes me. No. And then immediately the sound effect is perfect. Just a ratata. He just keeps going. I love it. And Ishigami prepared for all of this, I think. Or at least he's got all this knowledge. And each of them does the thing. And then we jump into the whole red space. And he demonstrates that he's doing the exact same thing, just better. And doing this one-upmanship thing just to destroy them in front of her in order to build up his own ego. Very, very good. This is a very accurate depiction, I think, of the way that boys compete stupidly in front of women. Yeah, we do this shit 100%. And so it just rings completely true to me. I wanted to show off in front of Tsubabe. He ruined this opportunity for me. She did Teeaboo. And that's exactly it. They're all exactly the same. Just trying the same gambit. Ridiculous. This space is very cool. My bespectacled friends. It's so pathetically obvious. Habutsumas. Very good. Have they no shame? He's doing the exact same thing. Bonfire and Ino is into it, but we can't do it. There are all these reasons. We don't have permission. It's not okay. There's all this. I like the turn from Onodera. I really like it. I like that she's against it, but for rational reasons, and then ends up following along with it once a way is cleared. Like, Ino pushes through, clears the path, makes it happen, and so Onodera is on board. But she's reluctant to be on board before there's a clear path to victory. You know what I mean? Like, that makes a lot of sense. Sometimes when you come across disagreement, what you're lacking isn't actually that they disagree with the fundamentals of what you're aiming for, it's that they don't think it can work. And so if you can demonstrate a mode of it actually working, they might be on board. That's cool. I like it. And same thing, just wanting to do it isn't enough. Oofa. And she full explode, does not need your help. And so she pushes, and manages it. Through discipline. And she manages it. She pulls it off. I like the documentary sequence. It's very cool. And I like the underlying idea here that Miko Ino's goodness in general, her desire to be disciplinarian and good, has actually gotten her noticed and lets her open doors that she wouldn't be able to open otherwise. Ends up being very cute that they managed to get it all done. Even got the principal's permission, and Onodera even comes with her. And we introduce these characters who are nutty, and I love them. They are Yuri obsessed with Kaguya, and they should be. And they are two of Kaguya's biggest fans. She's so beautiful, so perfect, such a Yamato Nadeshiko. They're trying so hard, and it's very cute. I think it's very, very cute. The idea that Kaguya just pulls the arrow the same way that she always has because she's a transcendent genius who's able to learn things hyper quickly, amazing. The way that they build out these stories to explain the background behind why Kaguya acts the way that she does, in the same way that we generate myths and legends to explain explain the histories behind great historical figures very often would be one example of the way that we do it. It's the same sort of circumstance. All we can do as mere humans is grovel before it. But it must be that she's given up going and competing because she can't bear the weight of making other people look so much worse, right? Like, or whatever they come out. It's beautiful. If it wasn't for you. Yeah. Some lovely ideas. And I'll leave the archery world behind with a smile on my face. Extraordinarily dramatic. But of course, the reason is quite mundane instead. There's a lot of that in this episode. Extraordinary explanations for things shattered into mundanity. Ah, my heart. And my dick. I'm sorry. Look, it's it's also like almost the first fan service-y, even close sequence that we've ever had in Kaguya. That's really interesting to me that it is such. I do think rhythmic gymnastics is amazing. I had a very good friend when I was growing up who was in rhythmic gymnastics, and she had to quit when she was about 16, I think, because she totally fucked up her spine, like a lot. All the flexibility stuff can be really good for you, but they push it to extremes, and it's in a competitive manner, in the same way that like competitive sports people will push their bodies to destruction and beyond. So, got a weird relationship with rhythmic gymnastics because I've watched it destroy somebody that I cared about, and it really caused her a lot of continuous and now lifelong grief and pain and misery, while being something that she dedicated herself to as a youth. So that's rough. But at the same time, it's fucking impressive. Extraordinarily impressive. When it comes to body control and physical capacity, there are a few sports that are as demanding, as far as I know, as something like rhythmic gymnastics. Not only from a balance perspective, flexibility, strength, stability, as well as routine and choreography and all that. It's crazy. We are really putting Koyasu front and center as like one of the topper girls of the school. She's very kind. And again, I'm like shocked that there's no evil behind it, because there's always more to characters than this, but it turns out not in this case. And there is, so the flippy whippy cut that we get initially is quite solid and hot. This cut is exceptionally fluid, at least from my first glance at it. So I want to see it again. Yeah, the pull out is exceptionally fluid. I wonder if we're doing like composition modification on ones, animation changing on twos, I think is what's going on. I haven't gone frame by frame yet, so I'm just guessing. It looks like animation is changing on twos, but the composition is shifting on ones. So we're moving her back in space on ones. It might all be on twos though. It might all be on ones though. I don't know. Let's find out. 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2 1 2 1 2 all on twos. That's crazy. That's crazy. How did it end up so fluid? That's gorgeously fluid. Even here at the beginning with the first drop off of the thing, and she's on point the whole time. It's all on twos. That's amazing. That's amazing. Looks spectacularly fluid. Maybe that's the availability of animation tools. That's so cool. And we introduce one other character, Ryuju Momo, who might be my favorite girl, given, okay, so she's a kudere, just like cool, calm, collected, cold, white hair or blue hair, short hair usually. Great, she's a kudere. I like kuderes. I don't mind them. You know what my favorite character archetype, though, is? My favorite of all of them. All of them. It's not a gyaru, it's a Yankee. It's a Yankee. It's a, like, violent, angry biker girls are my heartthrob completely. They destroy me. I love them. And she's both. That's a lot. That's a lot. And he says something about finishing off the festival I'll close out the festival like a man. And what exactly does he mean by that? And how exactly is it relevant to the legend or the myth of the thing and the dragon and the orb and stuff? I don't know. But I got the feeling, ooh, that shit's gonna get crazy. In the midst of everyone losing sight of love, a chain of betrayals. To be continued in the Dark Shujin myths. I want to talk about this scene, because this actually got me. We've got a character in-universe giving diegetic commentary, like narration. So, has no predictive potential, like has no power, has no belief, has no understanding of what's actually going to happen, is not the narrator. But because we so often have a narrator in Kaguya, my brain doesn't register that immediately. And so as she's saying it, I'm like excited by the sequence of betrayals that's coming and all the, ooh, what's it actually going to mean? And it's all in world. None of it is a real narrator. That's so fun. And then the moment of realization that it's actually this character in world who's saying all these things, and I shouldn't take it seriously. I shouldn't take it as though it's like a fade out or a preview for the next episode that actually tells us any interesting information. It's like a context switch. I take a piece of information that I think I know, and it changes, and there's something novel and enjoyable about that change in perspective that happens, where I'm like, oh wow, they got me. They got me. That's what it feels like. It feels like a pleasant getting got. Yeah. Shinomiya Kaguya smiles ever so gently. To be continued in the dark analogs of the Shujin Gakuen myths. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the helmet. I do like the idea of a giant battle royale, and I definitely like the insane animation sequence that we get of this character wigging the fuck out, talking about her amazing, insane battle royale plans. It's like something crazy out of Little Witch Academia in terms of the animation flow of it. I don't know. And rejected. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Cards cheating deck. What? All right. And that brings us all the way full circle around to making balloon animals and failing at making balloon animals and continuing to strive forward into the difficult endeavor of being able to twist a balloon and turn it into a shape. I will overcome one day and become an expert, or at least it's somewhat passable, balloon animal maker. Good job, buddy. Pat. Good job. Hey, this episode was pretty cool. I really like this one. I thought that the gags all the way through were delightfully fun. I thought that the style shifts through the chunks were very interesting, and I thought that some of the character revelations and insights were really quite cool. A little bit of cuteness from Miko. She's very uptight, but that belies her actual heart-throbbing, burning heart passionate self. And there's a real person in there, and that's freaking cute. And while he might seem to everybody to be tippy-top most competent man in the world, Kaguya gets to see past Shirogane's shell a little bit and into the, well, somewhat frightened, a little bit down on himself, incompetent feeling core that is Shirogane Miyuki. Very cool. Very cool. It feels like real romantic connection between the characters is brewing, and good gags all the way through for the rest of it, and I'm happy about the whole thing. Good episode of Kaguya. Big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week for more episodes of Kaguya-sama Love is War. We're going to be moving deeper into the cultural festival, and so there will be plenty of opportunities for interesting things to happen in this season. I'm now pretty convinced that we're going to head in a good direction, and I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it, and I'm here for it. So I hope you are too, and I hope to catch you next week for the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. See you there. Peace.